welcome back to my knitting channel. My name is Alena, and today we have a little bit unusual episode, and I'm packing to Oslo because we are going to wear some wool garments and we are going to have some yarn window shopping, and I want to take you with me today. So I want to show you what I'm packing with me, and I will tell you slightly about my plans, and then we'll go to Oslo. So the weather in Warsaw quite warm still, so I can't wear a lot of wool garments. As you can see, I'm wearing right now my blouse number 2 knitted in only number 14. This is quite summery garment with long sleeve, but still quite summery. But to Oslo, I'm taking my Oslo hat. Obviously, who are going to Oslo, who is a knitter and do not take their Oslo hat. I think that I need to take a picture in Oslo with Oslo hat. I'm taking my hipster hat in case it will be too hot for that one, because that one is knitted with mohair and this one knitted only with merino wool. Small Sophie scarf, and most important and my precious item is my Johan Loop sweater by Other Loops. It is knitted with BC Garn Loch Lomond in 2 colors, navy something. I will link down below my Ravelry where you can get all colors and the amount of yarn used for that one, because if you'd like to substitute original yarn from Isager collection to something a little bit more budget friendly, this is your option to go, because you don't need merino, you don't need any mohair here, and you still can get a lot of stitch definition in your color work, and it's not itchy. Even with my sensitive skin, for example, I can't wear any kind of rustic wool, like for example Pure Gyont by Sandnes Garn. I can't wear it, but this one I can wear. And my second sweater and last knitted item that I'm taking is this one. This is 100% merino by Kremke Soul Wool. This is their Dicky Weight merino in color charcoal. I think it's grayish blue, slightly purplish. And this is my sweater number 9 light. No, it's sweater number 11 light. This is a raglan sweater with high funnel neck, I think we can call it. Beautiful raglan details and 2x2 rib, a lot of 2x2 rib. And surprisingly, this wool didn't peel too much. It's quite soft, it's extremely soft, much softer than Loch Lomond over here, but it peels not so much. You have some peeling over here. I've never depeel it, and you can see some bits here and here, but it's not drastic. And I'm taking only backpack. So we are not allowed to buy any sweater quantities of yarn because I don't have any place where I can put it to bring home, and my plans to buy only 2 hats quantities that I mentioned in my previous video. I want to find perfect red cashmere because I want to have a cashmere beanie, and I'm gonna grab some of one of 3 new colors of Double Sunday from Sandnes Garn, because I want to have a second hipster hat in that yarn, or maybe something else, but I want to grab Double Sunday to my hat because I feel that, yeah, it peels even worse than this one, than Merry Merino by Kremke Soul Wool, but to a hat it looks nice, and I love those 3 colors, so I will need to choose which one will suit me better. So let's go to Oslo. I'm home. I have some spoilers over here, but I don't want to show you before the end of the video what I bought, because I bought it not in my first stores that I visited, but I want to tell you a little bit about the first stores that I visited. The first one that I visited was Fruquist. It is, I hope I'm not mispronouncing it. All stores that I visited will be tagged down below as well in the description, or I think I will add a comment. We'll see. So if you would like to visit, you can easily do it. And I'm sorry for my pronunciation this video, because I got some stuff done to my teeth and I'm just trying to get used to talk with my slightly changed teeth. Though the first store wasn't too big of a size, but it has quite a huge selection of yarns over there. I have never squeezed any Biche Bush yarn, and there was quite a nice selection of that yarn. I thought that probably the lamb's wool may be a little bit too rustic, but it didn't feel like that. And they have the lamb's wool with cashmere. Oh, I think that a nice sweater, kind of like Ingrid sweater or something like that, with a texture should be so crisp and so cool in that yarn. Because as I mentioned, I can't wear Pure Gund, so I'm looking for something to use instead of those yarns, and probably that one may be quite nice. Also, they have a lot of Isager yarn or Isair yarn, quite a nice selection. And what surprised me a lot with that yarn is that their Jensen, it can be quite rustic, but other colors are not so rustic. So I once heard that some of the colors may be from different ship's breed. Some of them are from Australia and some of them can be from Chile, if I'm not mistaken. So some of them much softer than others, and probably this is the yarn that I would go to the store and buy only in a store to be sure that it's not too rustic, which is kind of a problem because I don't have any yarn stores in Warsaw. So I can do it only, you know, like travel, try, and then buy online if I don't have a lot of a lot of space in my luggage. What I also liked in that store is that you have a lot of knitted garments. Of course, you can check how they look. You can probably ask to try on, because in one store, the lady who worked there suggested that I can try it. And plus of this store, that it's located in a city center, so you don't need to walk a lot to find it. It's clearly you're just working, strolling around the city center, and you can find it. Quite nice location around, and you probably will see, or you have already seen, the location around, because it was so nice. I really like the architecture in Oslo, so I filmed quite a lot of those as well. store that I visited was Pickles, and they have only their own yarn plus their own designs, and you can buy their yarn and buy their patterns. Their patterns won't be printed. You can get their patterns only via email, and probably it's cool, but I know that some people would like to have their patterns printed and they don't have printer at home, so maybe it would be nice for them to have it. I cannot say that I liked a lot of their yarn selections because I don't find a lot of their yarns interested to me, but I'm in love with their Teddy yarn. It's a big chunky boucle yarn, and they have a nice zipper sweater jumper with nice colorful collar. Over here in 1x1 rib, I don't remember, is it twisted rib or not twisted? I just remember that's 1x1 rib. I will add over here a photo. It looks so nice, and that Teddy yarn is so squishy, so soft. I think that it would be literally the warmest garments that you can knit yourself with boucle yarn, and probably you can wear it as some kind of outerwear. And they recently came up with a jacket with the same yarn. It looks amazing, and they have quite a nice selection of colors of that yarn, but mostly it's in some natural colors, earthy tones and something like that. Also they have some kind of mohair yarn, I think, and a lot of others, but I find that a lot of them felt a little bit too rustic to me. But if you're in the market for something a little bit more rustic, and they have quite nice selection of patterns over there, and you are walking nearby, because nearby you can find also a nice Sunday market on Sundays definitely, and this store open, I think it's opened on Sundays if I'm not mistaken, so you can stroll around near the river and then go to that shop. that I visited was once again Fullquist. I still hope that I'm not mispronouncing. They have a little bit different yarn selection, so it won't be quite a problem if you would go to both of them. It won't be like you are shopping in the same store. It has a lot of Knitting for Olive, it has Hillesvåg, I hope I'm not mispronouncing it, and this is, I don't remember if I had the chance to try that yarn in Copenhagen, definitely not in Vienna. I think, yeah, maybe I've tried it, but if I'm not but yeah, this is a Norwegian brand, so there are quite a nice selection of it. Also, there are some garments knitted in that yarn. Of course, it's too rustic to me, but at least you can touch, squeeze. I don't know. I think that window shopping for yarn for me has so much pleasure. Probably sometimes even much more pleasant than just buying the yarn, because when you're buying the yarn, you're spending some money, but when you're just looking and seeing all of those pretty candies, it's not so hard to buy. Also, let me double check what they also have. Oh, also they have quite a nice selection of Camrose, different yarn, a lot of Filcolana, and I finally understood that Filcolana Peruvian yarn quite soft. I was afraid that it's the same as rustic as Knitting for as Burgund. I don't know why I had that opinion, but literally it's so soft, it's so squishy. Definitely need to try it out and to knit something with it. first yarn shop that I visited was Garntopia. That yarn shop is quite outside of the city center, so you probably need to use some public transport to get there, but it's so worth it, really. If you can choose just one yarn store to visit in Oslo, highly recommend that one. It may look like not the most pleasant area nearby because there is some construction, some buildings, something like that is happening there, but I was overwhelmed with the amount of yarn you have there. Literally, guys, this is probably one of the biggest yarn stores I've ever been in. And they have the nicest selection. They have tons of course, Sandnes Garn, because it's a Norwegian brand, and they have everything, literally everything from Sandnes Garn. I've never seen a lot of those yarn, especially all of those bulky Sandnes Garn yarn, because I don't know why they're not presented in a lot of other stores. I only saw them online or in some Instagrams where they have a big mirror near the window, so you can grab your yarn, choose them closer to the window, as I did it for several of yarns. I was trying to try it on and see how it will look, and to see how it will look with me. Sorry for the sound. And they have probably the biggest selection of Gepard yarn in Oslo. Tons of knitting for Olive. They literally have these, you know, like those big chunky baskets. They have big baskets from IKEA probably, or from H&M. I think that I got the same from IKEA, filled with knitting for Olive mohair, like to the top. Quite a lot of yarn, but the only problem there was the fact that they didn't have the nicest lightning, and from time to time you can be slightly disappointed with the color, or you can't understand literally the color, because, for example, I took 3 balls of double Sunday, kind of spoilers over here. I took 3 balls of double Sunday, and one of them was in a different color, but under the lightning it seemed exactly the same. So just double check numbers on the label, or go to the window to see how it looks. Also, they have tons of patterns needed from Sandnes Garn booklets. I was in love with their cardigan. It's a cardigan with cables, all over cables. Looks stunning. Not sure about the hair that they used, because it's a variegated hard word. Mohair that adds a little bit of speckles around the cables. Not sure that I'm a fan of that, but still maybe someone's cup of tea. And I also saw that beautiful jumper with diamonds on it, with a lot of texture. It looks so beautiful. Maybe somewhere in the future I will knit something like that to my to my partner. Knitting partner doesn't knit, but still. And important to mention over here, on that trip I wasn't alone, and no one was hurt who wasn't a knitter. So let's respect those people who helped me to film all of that and wasn't hurt. And also, what they had a lot, they had a lot of different bags, knitting bags. I was thinking about buying something for myself, but couldn't find one that I'd liked. They have a lot of, you know, those petite knits ones that looks like a basket, but I wanted something quite slim, with drawstring, like a bag with a drawstring, but not so big as kind of like a basket. So I didn't find anything, but I found what I was looking for. I got myself nicest red cashmere. This is a cashmere vintage by Gepard. This is their cashmere. This is a mix of new cashmere fiber and cashmere recycled from Italian textile industry. I spent quite a lot of time near the mirror, near Garntopia mirror, to see if this yarn suits me. I think it will be a nice hat. This cashmere feels soft, bouncy, but it's not like it doesn't feel the same as, for example, Cardiff cashmere. It's not so fluffy, but it looks quite beautiful, and I think that this one can be a little bit more durable other than that one. I heard on Instagram that it's better to steam this cashmere before winding it up into skein and using it into a bowl, right? Yeah, this is a skein, you're winding into a bowl into a cake. Yes, before caking it up, it's better to use a steamer because it will add, it should change the yarn. I don't know how, I will try and let you know, and also will let you know, but they look so beautiful. They are so squishy, and I'm keeping this yarn till October because in October there will be a red call by Knitting Archives on Instagram, and I will knit the beautifulest hat by Azerloops. This will be this beautiful yarn should be a dual loop beanie by Azerloops. This is, I will add a picture here, this is a beanie knitted with 1x1 rib and 2x2 rib, so it's kind of like a mix of two ribs. The brim is knitted in 1x1 rib, and the crown and the body of the hat can be tailored like that, and the body of the hat is knitted with 2x2 rib. I like the creases of 2x2 rib, so I think it would be quite nice, especially in this yarn. It holds the rib quite well, but I still need to swatch to check if I could knit that hat, but I hope that I can. If no, I think that I will just do some modifications to the pattern, probably choose another size, but I really want that hat in this yarn. We'll see how the things will go. And second one that I bought, the yarn that I had problems with choosing the color. This is this Double Sunday. I bought 3 skeins of it. This is Double Sunday, a new color with petite knit. It looks so nice. This is the color 6050. This is bluish grayish color. It's not too blue, it's not too gray, and I think it suits me well as well. And it's going to be another hat, probably weekend hat, or maybe something new will come up and I will need that one. But I do enjoy wearing hats without my hair, because my head is too sensitive to wear my hair hats. I can wear a sweater with my hair, but for hats probably it's a little bit too much, because I get a little bit of a sweat over here on my forehead. It's not so nice, it started to be too itchy, irritates me so, sorry, it irritates me so much, so knitting without my hair, with some DK weight merino wool should be much nicer. Plus, if I would go with weekend hat, we can have a triple folded rib over here, triple folded brim, so it won't be too cold to my ears. They will be pretty nicely covered, and there is no hair to fill the hole, so but it's still warm. And that was it. It was not a long trip to Oslo. I didn't bring any yarn and needles with me because I don't have projects on. I don't have any projects on wooden needles right now, and I am afraid for my CHOGO needles, and currently all of my projects on CHOGO needles, so I didn't want to leave them somewhere in the airport. No. So I decided that it's only 2 days, probably I will give some time to rest to my hands, and that's why I didn't bring anything, so I can show you any progress from my knitting, but I was reading a book during the trip, so I think it's not so bad, because sometimes you just need to have some breaks from your knitting. Let me know in the comments below which yarn store you would like to visit, and maybe you will have some other recommendations that I missed in Oslo, because definitely it's not my last time in that city, because I quite enjoyed being there. Happy knitting, happy whatever you're doing, and see you later. Bye!